The Apple Watch has been a big deal for a number of years now and has only gotten better since 2015. The biggest design change and improvement since the original being the bezel size, as the Series 4 and 5 have a much larger screen and thus look more modern. That said, not everyone needs the most fancy thing out there, and that's where the Series 3 Apple Watch comes in, bringing almost everything its newer counterparts do at literally half the cost. Hey, how's it going? I'm Josh from 91 Tech, and today we're taking a look at the Apple Watch Series 3. Is it still worth buying? Yes, the Apple Watch Series 3 is still worth buying, usually. It's kind of like the one you know you should buy, but don't really want to buy. The Series 5, which is the newest one that I use here, is awesome, but the truth is that the Series 3 really isn't that much worse beyond the smaller screen, and there are probably less differences than you would think. Since switching to the Series 5, I've noticed a few things. First thing, worse battery life, believe it or not. Second, the reason the battery life is worse, which is the always-on display. The Series 5 is the only Apple Watch that has this. Basically, the time is always on the screen no matter what, so you can see the time without any interaction. On the Series 4, 3, and older, you either need to tap the screen or the watch will automatically turn on when you lift your wrist. Is this a problem? For most people, no. In fact, I know a lot of users would rather turn off the always-on display and get the better battery life, and so if that's you, the Series 3 definitely makes sense. I do still get about 2-day battery life with this watch, but this one would get me around 3 days, I found. So yeah, not having the always-on display could be a blessing in disguise. The final and really big difference between the Series 3 and Series 5 is the display, as mentioned before. The newer ones really do look a lot better and a lot more modern. This also allows for some newer watch faces that aren't available on the Series 3. That said, practically speaking, there's not a whole lot of difference between these two watches. Apple doesn't sell the Series 4 anymore, which is why I'm not really talking about it. Most of you out there will be trying to decide between the Series 3 and Series 5 if you've already decided to get an Apple Watch. And here's where a lot of you will just make your decision outright. The Series 3 is $200, while the Series 5 is $400. And that's starting prices. So it's double the price for definitely not double the product. And that's why for almost everybody, I would recommend buying the Series 3 over the Series 5 every single time. I really love my 5, and yes, it's more money, but it does feel a lot better. It looks nicer to wear. The always-on display for me is really nice, but Apple has left the 3 around for a reason. It's good enough. In fact, it's more than good enough. It has almost all the features of the newer one for half the price. This is the one that most people should buy. It's a solid watch, and I 100% believe that it's worth buying right now. So that's the answer out of the way. Yes, the Apple Watch Series 3 is worth buying. But let's back up here and just take a look at the Series 3, starting with the design. The body of the Series 3 is pretty similar to newer models. This one has an aluminum case with the heart rate sensor on the bottom. On the side, we have a digital crown and a button. The crown can be spun, which allows us to scroll or navigate through the UI, and it can also be pressed for different things like Siri. You can get different cases for the Apple Watch like stainless steel, but Apple doesn't sell these anymore, at least new, for the Series 3 or Series 5. They were also really expensive anyways and didn't really add anything to the experience beyond being cosmetic, so generally I'd recommend aluminum just to save some money. There are a few color options for the Series 3 being space gray, silver, and rose gold. However, as far as I can tell, the rose gold is no longer being sold on Apple's website, and so the only options here are the space gray and silver. On the front of the watch, we have either 38 or 42mm displays. The 42mm will bump the price up by $30, which is pretty fair. Which should you get? Well, it really depends on your wrist size, and if you're unsure, you could always go to an Apple store or some other store that has Apple Watches and try them on and see which one fits. I'd lean more towards the 42 for most people, as it's only $30 more, and the slightly bigger size is kind of nice to have if it fits your wrist. You can get the Apple Watch in a Nike Plus variant, which really doesn't add much beyond a sport band and I think a watch face, so which you choose is really completely up to you. We do have a cellular option on the Series 3 Apple Watch, which allows you to connect your watch to cellular and take calls or get notifications even without your phone. So for example, if you want to go out for a run, you could leave your phone at home without worrying about it, and even use your AirPods with just the watch for Apple Music or something if you'd like to. The cellular model is $100 more than the non-cellular, and personally I don't think it's worth it, especially because for only $100 more than that, you could go up to the base Series 5. I've never bought a cellular model because frankly, I always bring my phone with me wherever I go, but if that's not you, or maybe you want some more freedom from your phone the cellular Apple Watch is always a great option. The watch band is interchangeable, leaving you with tons of different options. I'd actually recommend looking at Amazon or eBay for knockoff bands, as they're significantly cheaper for basically the same product. On my Series 3, I used a knockoff of the Milanese Loop band, and it worked great. And it was also $10 as opposed to $99 that Apple charges for essentially the same thing. The Apple Watch Series 3 does have water resistance, which means you can go swimming with it in a pool or the ocean. It's not supposed to be worn for anything more intense like water skiing or anything with high velocity water really, so don't wear it in the shower. I've heard of people wearing their watches in the shower. Honestly, why? It's unnecessary. The steam and high velocity jet streams of water aren't going to be good for it, and it could cause damage in the long run, so just don't wear these in the shower. But yeah, it is definitely water resistant, so you can wash your hands with it, not worry. You can go to a pool and wear it and not worry. It even has a water mode for it. So yeah, it's great. And honestly, that pretty much sums up the Series 3 Apple Watch. It's great. You have basically all the fitness features of the Series 5. Heart rate monitoring, lots of fitness workouts and stuff that track your calories burnt or steps taken or whatever. This is just a cheaper Apple Watch Series 5. You know, there's really not a lot you're missing out on beyond the bigger display. It is a couple years old, which means in terms of support, it's not going to get as much as the Series 5, but right now it is on the newest version of watchOS 6, and I would estimate that it'll at least get another couple years of support, if not more. Right now, the Series 3 feels pretty fast when you're doing almost anything. You don't get a whole lot of lag, and that's nice to see, especially because it is a couple years older. And while this thing doesn't feel necessarily like the newest product out there because of those big bezels, the core functionality I think more than makes up for that. Not only can it tell the time, but it can track fitness, send you notifications, all the things an Apple Watch can do. And while this device might feel older than the Series 5, I'd say considering it's half the price, it's a worthy sacrifice. I was considering other things to add to this script because it kind of felt short, but the truth is there's not a whole lot to say here. This watch is just worth buying. There's no point of listing out every technical spec or beating around the bush. You should buy this Apple Watch if you're thinking about it because it's really good. And more importantly, it's really good value, especially if you find it on sale. I know some retailers do put them on sale, so look around for that. So yeah, that's it for me, honestly. Yeah, the Apple Watch Series 3 is worth buying. I don't think you'll regret it. And so if you found this video helpful or interesting, maybe hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content just like this. You can follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at 91_tech if you'd like to for whatever reason. And with that all being said, Discord community link in the description. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Josh from 91 Tech, and I will see you all next time.